Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Welcome to the best gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news channel on YouTube. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off with a bit of a celebration. We're talking about Nintendo GameCube and Wii emulation with the legendary Dolphin, and Dolphin has just turned 20 years old. It was released back in 2003. Now, it's hard to believe Dolphin has been out for so long. If you wanted to check out an older version and have some fun, or not have some fun, I found one over on the Internet Archive. It's Dolphin 1.03 Beta 2. On top of that, I found a very old forum post, which I will link to in the description below as well, and it talks about 1.03.2, which was released back in 2007. And they say here that this is a private beta. Use at your own risk. It's less stable than version 1.02. And on top of that, it works with Windows XP 64 or Vista 64. This thing is ancient. Now, if trying to get that old version of Dolphin installed and running is not your thing, I do not blame you. If you'd rather see a video instead, I've got you covered. I'll drop a link to this video in the description below, and it's Super Mario Sunshine running on Dolphin 1.03.2 from 16 years ago. And speaking about ancient, next up we're talking about PSP emulation with PPSSPP. And if you downloaded version 1.16.0 and you haven't updated yet, it's considered an ancient version. I mean, they've already just released version 1.16.3. So version 1.6 was released back on September 9th, and since then there have been a number of bug fixes between 1.16 and 1.16.1, and then a number of bug fixes between 1.16.1 and 1.16.2, which was released back on September 19th, just a few days ago. And we've got a number of bug fixes again between 1.16.2 and 1.16.3. And speaking about bug fixes, next up we're talking about Atari Jaguar emulation with BigPEmu. And BigPEmu just released version 1.091. So this version of BigPEmu has a whole bunch of bug fixes for Alien vs. Predator multiplayer, including one interesting change here. If a human player teleports into a new level without a weapon, the shotgun is now automatically granted. Moving on, and we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Yuzu, the paid testing early access version. And there's an update here you might be extremely excited about. Users can now create me with the applet and freely use them in games that have me functionality. For example, games such as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Miitopia, and Mario Golf Super Rush are now fully functional for me. And on top of that, users can also carry me that are registered on Amiibo by reading Amiibo through the Direct Joy Procon driver. The applet can be opened by clicking on Tools and Open Me Editor in windowed mode. And for reference here, it takes about 2 weeks, sometimes later, oftentimes sooner, for those changes to hit the mainline build. And as soon as they do, I'll let you know. Next up, we're quickly talking about PS4 and PS5 modding, and if you plan on modding your console in the near future, you may want to hold off on that update. The Flow here has possibly found an exploit. For some context here, the Flow often reports bugs and finds vulnerabilities in the system, and then once those bugs are reported, they're patched out. And he says, just reported these very cool bugs, so it might take a while until disclosure. I'm guessing as soon as these bugs get patched out, he'll talk about them in detail. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about the Steam Deck. And when asked about the Steam Deck 2 at the Tokyo Game Show, Valve confirmed that the Steam Deck 2 is not on the immediate horizon. It's going to be a while, and they're focusing right now immediately on worldwide availability of the Steam Deck, which is absolutely amazing. In my opinion, this is incredible news and the right way to go about things. Release a product and optimize the heck out of the software for it, instead of releasing a product and then a year later or a couple months later releasing another product and making that first one obsolete, like a lot of other handheld companies do. So this, in my opinion, is great news if you've got a Steam Deck. It'll be good for a while. And if you don't have a Steam Deck and you're planning on getting one, hopefully it'll be available in your area at some point and you'll get some years out of it before it's obsolete. And speaking about obsolete, next up we're talking about Unity, and it looks like their initial plans to make some money are now obsolete. They released a brand new letter to the community today unveiling their new pricing structure, which is a huge departure from what they initially proposed. If you wanted to read the entire letter, I'll drop a link to it in the description below. At a high level here, they say that the Unity Personal Plan will remain free, and there will be no runtime fee for games built with it. They will be increasing the cap from $100,000 to $200,000, and they will be removing the requirement to use the Made with Unity splash screen. And on top of that, no game with less than $1 million in trailing 12-month revenue will be subject to the fee. And there's a few other changes as well. At a high level here though, I'm pretty sure that Unity has ruined the trust with a lot of people that use it. I mean, I've seen comments from people saying that it doesn't matter about this walkback of the fee structure, they're going to be switching off Unity anyways. And then I've seen comments from the other side saying that this is amazing and they're very excited about using Unity again. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Next up, we're talking about the Steam Deck again, and there was an update here on September 18th that I missed to the Steam Deck beta client. And there's a new gyro mode, gyro to mouse. They say here it's a renovation of the gyro as mouse mode. So with this, there's a whole bunch of new options here like yaw versus roll blend. You can now blend between yaw or roll mode, and they've improved gyro over Bluetooth. Now they say expect frequent changes to UI and behavior while they evaluate this new replacement. It's currently in testing. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about Baldurs Gate 3. And today Baldurs Gate 3 got patch number 3, and this allows you to change your character's appearance mid-game via the magic mirror. And they've also introduced Mac support, so you can play this on Mac. And there's a whole bunch of optimizations. Specifically about performance, they say there's improved performance in the lower city with more to come, so they're still not done yet. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about Ubuntu, and if you wanted to test out Linux kernel 6.5 and also GNOME 45 with Ubuntu, you may want to check out Ubuntu 23.10 Mantic Minotaur. This is a beta, things might not work as anticipated, but it'll be a pretty good early peek into the next version of Ubuntu. And speaking about sneak peek, next up we're quickly talking about Starfield. If you wanted to improve how Starfield looks by a little bit, or possibly a lot based on your setup, the HD Reworked project has just released over on Nexus Mods. The size of this mod is just over 570 megabytes and it is 100% free. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. And speaking about description below, check out this YouTube video, which I will drop a link to in the description below, showcasing Jump Force up and running on Android via Box64 Droid. And this video has a setup guide as well. It's very interesting. Now, in terms of the frame rate, it's kind of all over the place. It goes down to close to 10. It goes up just over 20. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is playable or if it's running too slow for you. And last up here, we're talking about Resident Evil 3 on Box64 Droid as well. And this game is up and running at close to 20 frames per second as well. I'll drop a link to this YouTube video in the description below in the event that you wanted to check it out. This appears to be a special version of Box64 Droid. And fortunately here, Box64 Droid and Box64 Mod are 100% free and open source. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.